Everybody, amprepairguy.com, also hardbackelectronics.com. Please like, share, and subscribe. So we have another Ameritron Al811h here for repair. So it's getting a brand new set of Penta tubes. It needs the BIOS mod done. Grids have not been grounded in this one. Has the diodes on the board, so I don't need to add those. It'll be getting new SO239s. It has some really bad solder work. Customer said he did not do any work to this when it comes to most of it. He had a fan added, which isn't a good idea. He had a fan added to the cover to try to pull air out, but it's going to pull air in from all the nooks and crannies and not necessarily pull any air past the tubes. So he said this amp only did 500 watts since he got it, so I'm going to go through it, and I suspect he had a load issue or something else going on, but I'll figure it out when I can't fire it up until with a new set of tubes until it's correct. He sent me some 572s that test at like 9. A good set will test above 40. Usually a new set's around 50 on my TV7. The writing is gone. He said this thing was getting like super hot, so definitely had something else going on, I'm sure. But I'll find out and I'll report at the end. But yeah, look at this solder work. It's like really bad. And then look at this. Grab something to wiggle it with. The positive isn't even soldered. Here, it's just stuck through the hole. Pull it out or not, but it's not soldered. Let me zoom in a little bit. Sorry about that. The whole thing's moving around. So, I'll fix that, but I'll get a longer screw. The top of the plate choke, one at the bottom. To resecure the wire up at the top. Check the meter protection diode. So it'll be getting new SO239s from Max Gain Systems, and I only used the 572s, Penta 572s. He had 572s, but again, like I said before, tested very low output. So I will report back when I'm done. Also do the 10 meter mod, clean the rotary switches, and yada yada yada. So I'll see you guys soon. Back, I changed the SO239s. The socket assembly out. So each grid connection, one per socket, is connected directly to the chassis out of the gas discharge tubes. Compress the socket clips. Some were spread pretty good, but looked like they'd still be making connection. So these leads that parallel the sockets, see the two copper ones? The stock ones were just tag soldered in. At one end was crimped around, the other end was just laying across it with a glob of solder, so I couldn't leave that. So someone must have gone in this, unless the customer got it. He thought he bought it new, unless it was used. But it had the little short screw, but also had this internal tooth crush lock washer. It's the wrong size. Not only that, but it had a washer. I've never seen one. I've worked on over 1,500 of these, well over, and I've never seen a washer, and it's stainless. So someone definitely went in here. I bet someone also changed those connectors. So, I mean, if that was factory, the sloppy solder work, I would have seen it all over the place. Okay, so ran the wire for the BIOS mod, zip tied all the wiring nice. I'm going to get back to work. See you guys soon. We're back with the completed Ameritron Al811h. Customer wants it working on 40 meters, so it's on 40. There are the settings. 7.25 megs, that's what he asked for. Okay, so radio set to roughly 70 watts. Bird 43. PEP kit is on, 1 kW slug. Bird PEP kit, not an aftermarket one, and also the Bird dummy load. I get up early. I need more coffee. Okay. Audio hello. Audio hello. 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 That's 800. 800. 800. Audio hello. 800. 800. 800. 800. 800. 800. 800. Tet 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 tet. Audio hello. 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 Audio hello. 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 And it works as it should. Tet 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 tet. Okay, so I'm going to continue testing the other bands, and I will be back with what I did on the inside. See you soon. Stay tuned. Back with the Ameritron Al811h. So this did go back to Ameritron at some point. So they must have changed the plate choke. Still doesn't make sense why there was washer there, but you know, everything I saw, I could tell it was changed. Customer said it went back, so they must have changed it. So I saw some extra wire here from where they clipped the wire and left it wrapped around. Metal oxide varistors were missing also, but no gas discharge tubes added. I found a piece of broken glass from an old tube in here also wedged between one of the sockets. So added the bias modification, zip tied the wiring nice, zip tied all the wiring back there. I secured the wire, fixed the tab, got rid of all that strain on the enamel wire, bent it over. It was like right next to the tube, and I put some silicone around it to hold it in place. Rewound the top, the choke, the wire, you know, it was really loose all over the place. I put some silicone around it to keep it in place. Resoldered these connections. Got a brand new set of Penta tubes. So when I went to test it, had some instability issues. So I had changed the straps on the old parasitic board. I went through all the components on here, looked okay, but something weird's going on. So I put a new board in, and those stability issues went away. So that's that. Longer screw through the top, longer screw through the bottom. What else? So touched up on some solder joints back here. New SO239s from Max Gain Systems. Fixed the solder joint over here. The ground connection was loose, and that wasn't causing the instability issue. It may have been contributing towards it, but that was loose. Had a crappy solder joint for the coax going through the board, the center conductor, so I fixed that. The screws were loose for the plate tune air variable capacitor, so I fixed those. The nut on the back that hold the connection on the air variable cap on the plate side up to the board, the solid lead, that nut was loose, so I tightened up on that. All the input, actually I tweaked the 10 meter input slug and did the 10 meter modification. The other ones were okay. Touched up on the solder joints for the meter protection diode. Someone had changed that at some point also. And yeah, I changed those leads underneath I showed in the other video. They were just like one end of each one had just a glob of solder on them, so those are good. I compressed the socket clips, added the gas discharge tubes, cleaned the solder clips. Restripped the filament leads, wrapped them around, soldered them really well. Customer had a fan attached to the cover, okay, so he said he only got this thing to do 500 watts like ever since new, so I explained could have been a load impedance issue, you know, if he probably had the instability issues also, and that I'm sure was contributing to issues. He said the thing would get smoking hot. Problem is when you add a fan there, the way it's set up, the air's flowing by the tubes. This fan's plenty big enough. So when you add the fan over there, now it's going to suck air through every whatever crack, and it's not going to pull the air past the tubes. Let me show you one of the old tubes here. These were purchased in 2009. I'm sorry, not 2009. In January. What am I talking about? These are 2025. January 25. They're the second week of 2025. So look, the writing is gone. So these got crazy hot. And I tested them on my tube tester. I think I said before they were like at 8 or 9 or something like that. Decent sets at about 40. Good new ones are about 50. So brand new ones from Penta. Just great people. So, yeah, so obviously they weren't getting the cooling. He was also using this on a net, and I forget what he said he was running it at, but you know, when you do a high duty cycle, you really have to derate it a lot. Okay, so he was on sideband, but so this is all set and ready to go. I have to bring another one to FedEx. I have a Harbach orders to pack. Been up since 4:15. It's now 11:25. Started working about 4:30. So, a lot of work. But she's done. So, if you have any amp you need repaired, feel free to give me a call. Phone number is 203-892-4119. Another thing, I also clean the input and output rotary switches with deoxit gold. And always check the fuse size. So 12 amp when it's on 120. So again, amprepairguy.com, harbachtelectronics.com. Please like, share, and subscribe. 203-892-4119. It's 203-892-4119. 73.